Hi, this is Trey Passer. Welcome to my review of Swamp Thing Episode 8 called The Long Walk Home. I apologize for this. This review is going to have spoilers in it. I apologize for getting this up later than normal because last week was Comic-Con week, and so there was tons of trailers for me to react to and stuff, so I didn't get a chance to watch Swamp Thing until actually today, where I watched Episode 8 and 9. So this review is going to be for Episode 8 called The Long Walk Home. It's going to have spoilers in it, so be forewarned. And basically, this episode begins basically where the last one left off, where Avery Sutherland was, basically set up to be killed by. We find out later, of course, in the last episode, that his wife Maria and Lucille, his mistress, okay, and his son that he never knew he had, Matt, basically lured him out into the swamp and shot him, okay, and he fell over, he jumped, fell into the water, and they just left him for dead, assuming he would die. But Avery's a tough old guy, and he survived. Okay, he's still in pretty bad shape, but he survives, and he's wandering through the swamp trying to get to civilization. He's recognizing that he has to go north, okay, to get to civilization, but he's struggling, and he starts to basically hallucinate certain things. Seeing people that are not there and stuff, and we even get a flashback about how Avery's father died. Okay, they were in the woods, illegally chopping woods, trees down, and one particular tree that little Avery didn't want to chop down. His father took the axe from him and decided to chop it down, and literally that tree fought back, okay, and literally dragged him through their campfire that they set up, and literally Avery basically had to watch his father die in front of him. So we got that uh, flashback, and so now we know how Avery's father's died, and I guess partially made him the way he is. Okay. Anyway, also at the same time we have not Liz, excuse me, have Abby. She left the last episode, left Alec, and she said she was determined to help him, even though he told her not to come back. And she's going back to the CDC, in Atlanta, okay, and meeting up with her old partner, Harlan Edwards, okay, and she finds out that she has a new boss, okay, a new boss who's wondering why she hasn't made any reports, any, finding, gone missing, not even really checked into the hospital when you were down there, okay, and why literally you're still down there, okay, and of course that person that they cast as her boss was Adrienne Barbeau, of course, who appeared in the original Swamp Thing movie. Okay, so I thought that was a nice bit of casting to get Adrienne Barbeau to be the new boss. That was a nice little homage to to the Swamp Thing movie, original movie. But anyway, Abby leaves the sample that she bought from Swamp Thing and she told the CDC that she gave it to her assistant and told them to work on it, and knowing that process is going to take a lot of hours to do. Okay, she heads back to her apartment, and of course Harlan shows up, and they shoot the S, and she admits to him that the person that she's trying to help is Alec Holland, and that she's gotten close to him, and she really wants to help him, and she's not going to give up. And so Harlan, being her best friend, literally, is happy for her and see that she actually cares for somebody else. That she's, the first person in a long time that she actually, that he's found out that she actually cares about somebody. That she really has feelings for someone, and of course he's happy for her. But then after he leaves, we see him get kidnapped off the street, literally dragged into a van and kidnapped off the street. Okay, and also at the same time, we have Jason Woodrow, the scientist that got the sample from Abby, and he's working with Avery to work with this new group called the Conclave. And he gets visited by the member that they had dinner with in the last episode, and he tells Jason Woodrow, "Listen, we're gonna pick this up a notch. We're gonna build you whatever you need, okay, to you know get this ball rolling on this new cure that you have. So whatever you need, it's not a problem." And he basically tells them, "Money is no object, and we'll start working on the lab right now and give you everything you want." And he basically tells them, "Listen, there was a specimen that we tried to get the last time, but it didn't end well." Okay, but this conclave guy, he says, "Listen, don't worry about it. I'll take care of everything." Okay, and we find out later that he's actually the one that kidnapped Harlan, okay, and we find out that he's literally pulling strings and has Harlan basically reassigned to a whole different, basically out of the country, okay, and we find out when Abby goes back to check on the sample that her card doesn't work and that it's not, nothing is happening, and basically her boss tells her there's somebody here to see you, and she goes in and it's Mr. Conclave, the guy that, who's in, funding this new research and stuff, and he basically tells her, listen, we know everything, okay? We know Alec Holland is the specimen, where you got the sample from in the swamp, and it's be in your best interest to tell us, where he is so we can, come help him, okay? And she kind of, tells him, I'll never betray him, and then she, takes off and leaves, okay? And then we, like I said, we go back to the swamp where the Swamp Thing, Avery has run into Swamp Thing, and Swamp Thing is actually helping him, heal and basically, healing the injuries that he had, and then of course he recognizes that this guy is Alec Holland, and of course he sees that he's Swamp Thing, and he's saying, listen, he's trying to play nice with him, saying, listen, we can bring you back, if you come back with us, we can help cure you, okay? And you see the Swamp Thing is thinking about it, and he's thinking about it for a minute, but till he, finally just blows it off, okay? And then we see Avery, he actually brings a boat, uses the swamp to bring a boat, and tells Avery to leave and never come back. But of course, Avery takes the boat, leaves, and he goes straight to Jason Woodrow and tells him, listen, I met Alec, and Holland, I know where he is, okay? Okay, and you see later they go out there, and they, seem that they're trying to talk to him, and Al, Swamp Thing is telling, Jason that he's read his work and all this stuff, and Alex, so Swamp Thing is asking, can you really cure me? And he was saying, well, why cure you when I can use you to basically cure millions, basically, and then of course they set upon him, and they have all these guys out there with guns, and they shoot him with a bunch of nitron and stuff, and they finally, basically, they freeze him, okay, and they capture him at the end of it, okay, and of course, they take him off, and then, of course, Abby, comes back, and she's looking for Alec, and of course, he's not around, Swamp Thing's not around because he's been captured, okay, and that's how this episode goes off with Swamp Thing being captured. Now, this episode, again, this show is getting really, really good. Just a lot of moving parts in this show. A lot of things. We found out a little backstory on Avery Sutherland to find out, we already knew that he had a crappy relationship with his father, but we found out how his father died. His father actually died in the swamp, okay, but, nature fought back against him, okay, and then we find out that Abby has a new boss, and that the Conclave has their tentacles everywhere, even in the CDC. They're even in there, okay, so, that's a nice, interesting, third party that they brought in. And of course, Jason Woodrow, he's basically salivating at the prospect of getting, Swamp Thing on the table, so he can literally experiment and do it and find out what makes him tick. And of course, we know that he's doing it for his wife, who's sick, his wife Carolyn, that's sick, and he's trying to, find out as much as he can about the Swamp Thing, and so he can use use his healing regenerative powers to, cure his wife her early Alzheimer's. So we know what his motivation is. He doesn't care. He doesn't want to cure Swamp Thing and turn him back to Alec Holland. He wants to use him to affect the cure for his wife. So we know what his motivation, and we know Avery's motivation is to make money and stuff. And now we also know that we also get a little brief thing with Matt and his mother, okay, because Matt is really shook up about finding out that Avery Sutherland is his father, and he's drinking, and his mother's calling him, telling him, listen, you got to come back to the precinct, okay? And she basically tells him, listen, you got to get your stuff together, okay? Because this Avery thing is going to come out, all right? So you got to get your act together, okay? So that was their thing. Like I said, this is a good episode. A lot of things happened. Swamp Thing's captured. Abby's going to be obviously looking for him, and Avery, looks like Avery's back, and he's going to get his revenge against his wife, Lucille, maybe even Matt, with him trying to kill him. So that should probably happen in the next episode. Anyway, let me know what you think of episode 8, Long Walk Home. a Swamp Thing. Let me know what you think of it. If you've seen it, feel free to leave comments down below. I have links to my social media in the description box: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Also a link to my other channel, Love Views and Opinions. Please check that out as well. And this is Trey Pastor saying so long and take care.